cycle is based on Saptarshi calendar. It was of 12,000 years duration comprised 4 Yugas. Some transitional periods of 300 years approx is added to the Yuga period. The complete Yuga cycle of 24,000 years was comprised of an ascending and descending Yuga cycle, which followed each other for eternity like the cycles of day and night. The transitional periods between Yugas are always associated with a worldwide collapse of civilization and severe environmental catastrophes, which wipe out virtually every trace of human civilization that emerges in the new Yuga is guided by a few survivors of the cataclysm, who carry them the technical and spiritual knowledge of the previous epoch. Now, we are explaining the duration of each Yugas. Different Sanskrit texts depict the duration of Yugas and their dawns and twilights. It is like that. Satya Yuga, that is called Golden Yuga, is of 4,000 years plus 400 years dawn plus 400 years twilight. Total 4,800 years. Treta Yuga, that is also called Silver Yuga, 3,000 years plus 300 years of dawn plus 300 years of twilight. The total 3,600 years. Dwapara Yuga is comprised of 2,000 years plus 200 years dawn plus 2 twilight. Total 2,400 years. Now Kali Yuga, 1,000 years plus 100 years dawn plus 100 years twilight. Total 1,200 years. Now if we add those periods, it becomes 4,800 plus 3,600 plus 2,400 plus 1,200. Total 12,000 years. And it's comprised of ascending, that is also called day, and descending, that is also called night period. Now the total is 24,000 years. It is the total Yuga cycle. According to Brahma Parivartan Purana, Krishna said that after 5,000 years of Kali Yuga, there will be a dawn of a new golden age which will last for 10,000 years. It is generally believed that Aryabhata had calculated the start date of the Kali Yuga on the basis of information in the Sanskrit astronomical treatise, the Surya Siddhanta, according to which the 5 planets visible to the naked eye, Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter and Saturn, they were aligned to 0 degree of Aries at the beginning of the Kali Yuga. He thus arrived at the date of 70 or 18th February of 3102 BC as the starting point of the Kali Yuga. It is accepted that the date for the beginning of Kali Yuga is 3102 BC. That is 35 years after the conclusion of the great battle of Mahabharata. Now come to the point of Kali Yuga. The timeline also indicates that the ascending Kali Yuga, which is the current epoch, in which we are living will end in 2025 CE. The ascending Dwapara Yuga will then be followed by two more Yugas, the ascending Treta Yuga and the ascending Satya Yuga, which will complete the 12,000 years of ascending cycle. The Kali Yuga ends in 2025, beyond which there will be a transitional period before the beginning of Treta Yuga, or sometimes it says after transitional period the ascending Dwapara Yuga will start. This transitional period is marked by Pralaya, which will destroy majority of world, leaving a little behind. It is also mentioned in some texts that there will be a star seen in the sky as huge as mountain, which is the star of Yuga Parivartan. Some Telugu texts mention exact dates of calamities when Saturn enters Gemini in 2033 to 2034 and the year Ananda, that is 2034 to 2035, will see the most of the calamities. In the year named Bhaba, that is 2054 to 2055, all the rivers and oceans get flooded, submerging all the villages, towns and cities. By the year 2061, only 1/7 of the world's population survives after large-scale calamities. Now we will discuss about Lord Kalki. He will from Nandana from 2072 or 2073 for 195 years. The Saptarshi calendar marks the 300 years transitional period before the advent of next Yuga. So as Kali ends in 2025, Treta Yuga starts in 2325, which is close to end of the Kalki's rule, ends in 2267 CE. So it can be inferred that as Kali Yuga started after the demise of Lord Krishna, Treta Yuga starts after the demise of Lord Kalki.
Thanks for watching.